Okay. I've had a weird day, and I don't necessarily mean that in a good way. Look, maybe my hair came down. It's like I'm a wreck from the last half an hour of my life. Zoe and I had a nice little session, in the round pen this morning, and I was like, oh, she's such a good baby horse. She's so good. She was just like willing and happy and not crabby and blah blah blah. Did all the things I needed to do. Big change from yesterday. Let go of a lot of things that she let. There's still that sticky spot in there, but it was smaller. And I was like, good job, Zoe. And then, I go and work with the other two horses and clean her stall. And she did, when I came into her stall, she had that energy about her because she thought she was going to get fed. So, and actually she did leave that alone pretty quick. It probably helped that she wasn't actually getting fed. But by the time I came back to feed her to leave, that's when we opened some shit up. So I almost wonder if tomorrow I should feed her first. Because what's happening is that then I leave, I feed her and I leave, and then it's not until the next day that I go to work with her, and it might be actually good to work with her after she's had her food. Not that I didn't just work with her while she was eating the whole time. I'm a little frustrated because she had been getting so much better. Mike did say that she tried to kick him the other day, which I totally believe, because it sounds like that's something she's started to do, or offer that she might do, that when you go to feed her, she might turn away from you, and she might turn around and back right up into you and kick you. Like, if she can't get you to move, she'll just back right up into you and kick you. It's interesting how, she's just moved from one. She was trying to move up me and him and anybody else out of the way with her front end, and that didn't work. So now she's trying to do it with her back end. Whether she has practice at it or not, that's what's happening. She never really let go of the idea. She just found a new way, and the kicking is even more scary than being come over the top of. So, it's more effective. People have a tendency to get out of the way when they see that butt coming out of them. So, we got to get through this kicking bullshit. And it takes a little bit. I've been working on it every day, and I have to admit, I was worried that I was teaching her to kick, because she didn't kick for like a month or more. She didn't really offer it, but I think today, after what happened, I kind of am thinking more like I didn't push the issue enough. I didn't bring it up enough. I was tiptoeing around her. And so the kicking never came out. But then here's what's happened. I came back from that clinic and I was like, no more smushing over the top of me. And she was like, cool, if I can't smush over the top of you, I'm just going to turn around and kick you. So, she hasn't actually let go of her thought about smushing. She just changed which direction she's doing it. So I don't think I've trained her to kick me as much as it's just a new manifestation of the same feeling she already had, which was that she wanted me to be in a different place, and that she should be in charge of the thing. And she is. What I really don't want to happen is for something that started about food to end up being about so much bigger than that. That really hasn't come up yet, although a couple times I've seen it kind of cross her mind. So I'm kind of on the alert for that. So today, what's the short version of what happened? She really doubled down at the food, and she brought in a lot more force than I thought she would. She's been a lot better. She was so good today. And things were fine until she turned around and wanted to kick me, and then I flagged her off, and then so I kept practicing that. I wasn't going to let her keep that. And the thing is that the longer I kept the food away from her, the more that kind of made her, the more that caused some trouble in her, because the more I was interrupting what she wanted to do so badly, which was eat that food, and she just wasn't letting go of it. And finally she pushed the situation, she came up, and then when she turned around, she like doubled down on the kicking, and we had a couple little laps around I just was thinking about how I might work out this in the round pin. We had a couple little laps around her pin, where I'm like, I'm gonna set this up totally different tomorrow. We had a couple little laps around her pin where she just like kicked and kicked and kicked, and I just kept flagging until she stopped kicking and ran off. The issue kind of there, I mean, there's a couple issues. One is that it's hard for her to run away too far. And two, my flag was really wet, so I was having a heck of a time getting my flag to just be big enough. And then the other problem is she can get awfully close if I'm just flagging her. And the flag is almost not enough of a deterrent. So, and she really finally, at one point, she came after me kicking, and she backed right up over the top of the food dish. Stinky little monkey. She backed right up over the top of the food dish and kept kicking me because, I mean, and I had no choice. I had to leave. I couldn't have kept, the way my flag was, I did give her some space. You know, she won that round. And so I hopped over the fence because I was a little bit worried. That's the other problem that's been happening. The way her stall set up doesn't make this easy. I hopped over the fence and went and got a bigger stick because I had a bigger stick sitting right there. That's the one I should have started with. But see, I didn't think I'd need it because she's been so good with the flag. So I was like, fine. I'm not taking this. And so I made her leave, and I tagged her once. I'm not gonna lie. When she turned her butt to me, I tagged her once, and then I chased her off pretty good a couple times, and then after that she was like, maybe I don't want to do this, and then her whole attitude changed and had a really big shift, and by the end she was, you know, really having a lot softer feels. So I think tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all set up to work in the round pen. Hopefully nobody will be there. I don't know if that will happen, but I'm going to put all my stuff at the back of the horse trailer. And then I've been thinking about this. I could use the horse trailer as a little staging area, which I've done in the past with Wyatt. Put all my stuff in the back of the horse trailer and then turn her loose in there, and then I'm going to feed her first. Or maybe work with her for a minute, and feeding is going to be part of the exercise session tomorrow. And then if she needs to take a trip, she can take a trip. The footing is going to be better in there. It'll be more public, which I will not enjoy, but it'd probably be a little safer environment. And then the other advantage is I will be able to work with her afterward, because it sure sucks to drive away after you had a little session like that. Now, I went up to her and petted her and blah, 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 and she seemed fine. I mean, I don't think it's as personal to her as it is to me. I think it's just her. That's a spot where she has big, strong feelings, and she's expressing them, you know, and she's going to take a person in her life that can meet her with that. And that's probably, I'm kind of glad, I hope nobody saw what happened today, because it did bring out, I only tagged her with the stick one time. I did say that I was going to hurt, that the things coming out of my mouth were, angry lies, let's put it that way. They weren't things that I actually you know, followed through on. That I knew that I wasn't actually going to follow through on them when I said them. But I was definitely mad. But she was pretty pissed too. So, you know, there you go. And it's so funny how you can go through that. I think it's one thing I've been thinking about. Something that Julie had said about how horses aren't like people. Like, you couldn't do that to your kid. But she's not a kid. I mean, she's a kid horse, but she's still a horse. So she has to learn those things. If I was another horse in the pasture and she had done what she did to me today, I would have kicked the shit out of her. So that was what my instinct was to just get after her just enough that, you know, 1 ounce more than what she's putting out. And she put out a lot. I did not put out a thing that she did not put out. And I think the reason why it's escalated is because I stopped tiptoeing around it. And I can't tiptoe around it for the rest of her life. That must be a theme for me right now.